We have heard over the last 10 years or so about how men and women are the same thing. I mean, how can you even tell the difference between a man and a woman? I mean, if a man wants to go in and be a woman, then he can absolutely do that. If a woman wants to be a man, why wouldn't? But if a man wants to swim in a pool with a bunch of women, what are you talking about? No issue here, right? What are we doing here, right? Do you remember Blabs? And I'm sure you don't. But a long time ago, there was a Battle of the Sexes tennis match. Do you remember that? Have you ever heard about this before?
Tennis
it featured,
match?
yes, it was a Battle of the Sexes tennis match featuring Billie Jean King in it. And it had Bobby Riggs. Now,
I don't think so.
Didn't they make a movie out of it?
Yeah,
yes, they did.
I've heard about the movie.
Yes. So this is a very famous event that happened in American history right during the peak of feminism becoming a big thing in 1973. This is Billie Jean King. This is on her website here. A courageous advocate for gender equality for women from a young age, Billie Jean King accepted a challenge to play a match against former number one tennis player Bobby Riggs, right? So this is in 1973. Riggs was a top men's player in the 30s and 40s. He was now 55 years old, right? A self-described hustler and male chauvinist. And he claimed the women's game was so inferior to the men that someone even as old as he was could beat one of the top current female players. And he challenged and he defeated Margaret Court, which was another player. Anyways, Billie Jean King went on and beat him in front of 90 million people. It was a very big deal. She won 6-4, 6-3, 6-3, and $100,000 right here. Okay? Do you remember this? No, you don't.
No, I wasn't there.
Well, this is a big deal. 90 million people tuned in.
Yeah.
Phoenix, I'm sure you heard about this growing up as a kid. Cecil, did you hear about this growing up as a kid?
Heard about it, never saw it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Same. Like I heard about it, but never saw it because I didn't care about tennis. But then years later, I was like, oh yeah, the movie, that thing that happened a long time
I was
ago.
in tennis camp as a kid.
Well, thank you, Blabs. Well, did you know that another Battle of the Sexes just happened in tennis between one of the top players in women in the world and a guy who hasn't played in 2 years? And it went exactly as you would expect. As Nick, I think his name is Kyrgios, won 6-3, 6-3 against Ariana Sabalenka in Dubai. Dubai put a lot of money together, and homeboy wrecked her in two sets here. And he actually had to play on he had to hit against a smaller court than she did here. And he won in straight sets. And this guy says a big L for the men and women are the same crowd. The Battle of Sexes 2025. Women's number one in the world. She's the number one player in the world. Played the injured 671st men's player in the world, and he destroyed her. Now, as you watch the pan of the crowd here, look at how happy some of these women are.
It's Nick Kyrgios that secures victory in the battle of the sexes here in Dubai.
Yo, that girl's asleep. Go back.
Yeah,
there she is. No, so is the mom.
It's like they knew what was going on. They knew what was going to happen. And guess what? There it is right there. So, hey, it's just amazing to see. Like, this is not science. You know, this is not groundbreaking news, but it's just the most obvious news in the world. But how many media outlets have you seen cover this?
About the same as the fraud.
Right. It's not exactly a top news thing here. NBC has yet to cover it. ABC has yet to cover it nationally. So, hey, wouldn't you know it? It just doesn't fit the narrative. But there we are. So.
Wasn't a while ago like a teenager beat Serena Williams at tennis. Like it was like a
no,
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, I'm because everything that's the problem with everything anymore. It
Serena
kind of
Williams
appears.
played against several rising teenage stars with notable matches, including her loss to 19-year-old Sloane Stephens at the 2013 Australian Open, and victories over teens like 15-year-old Cece Bells and 17-year-old Katie McNally at the U.S. Open. Blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Yeah, she said Serena Williams in particular, who was widely thought of as one of the best female tennis players ever.
She has a tantrum all the time. She annoys me.
Yeah, right. But she was actually, I think she had said that that men and women should not be playing. Right?
Yeah, she was like, "There's no way in hell a woman could beat a man," and she's right. I mean, this goes back to the idea of the U.S. women's national soccer team played against the 15 and under team, which, by the way, 15 under, that's a bunch of 14-year-old boys in soccer, and they got rolled in that game. I mean, this is the thing about this whole argument that is just amazing to me, that it's still being pushed. Like, no, I can't even, like, what are you talking about? The boys should be able to play with the girls and the girls should be able to play with the boys. And these fucking idiot women who are just like, yeah, queen, to these boys dressed up as girls. I don't know how broken these people are, but they're pretty fucking broken. So anyways, good for equality, everybody.
Real fast, I would say, like, to me, the more disappointing thing with women is that women are not saying anything. That's the thing. Look, you're always going to have loudmouth morons everywhere, right? My only problem as a former feminist, my big issue with women is that women are doing nothing. They're saying nothing. They're not going out. They're not saying things like, and so we keep seeing this as stupid division, and we're playing these stupid games that I don't think anyone even cares. I don't care if a man can beat a woman, or who gives a shit. But the conversation is becoming that because women aren't saying anything. They're not pushing back. They're not trying to put any sanity back into the conversation, because if they did, then we could get back to the wonderful strength of women have their strengths and men have their own strengths. And that's why they're great compatible, two forces of nature that come together and form a perfect unity, because they have different strengths and different weaknesses that each role fulfills. So just where are the women is what I would be saying. That's what's more annoying to me. The crazies are always going to exist.
The ones that
chopping off their tits.
The ones that do come out, like Riley Gaines and whatnot, they have their lives ruined. They come out and they say, no, men shouldn't be playing against women. And what happens to them? They get demonized. They get called every other phobe. They lose contracts. They lose sponsorships. And so I kind of look at it from the perspective. And there are also the ones. Wasn't there a thing recently with fencing, where there was the entire women's team that just were like, no, we're not going to be doing this against them, and they lost sponsorships, they lost college, what do you call it, college deals and all, like, so I kind of understand on one point why some of them don't want to talk out about it, but I think if more of them got together and said, look, if we all come out and say that this is wrong, they can't stop all of us. But the problem is that they're still afraid. And I do think that little by little we are getting back to some semblance of sanity. I just don't understand that for the longest time we've had the women's teams and the men's teams, and it was no problem. We understood, okay, well, the men can do this and the women can do this. Why is it all of a sudden where we've lost that? Like, why are we going back on something that I understand? Yes, there are going to be some women that can really whip men's ass on certain things, but the fact that, like, you would have things like this where tennis or whatever, where the woman lost significantly to the guy, okay, yeah, like, why I just don't understand why we're in such this weird spot anymore.
It's because you're a white male and you just don't understand it.
Bingo.
That's true. I'm a very, very pale gentleman. I don't know what I'm talking about.
You're a dinosaur, Cecil. You're a dinosaur.
I am. I'm on the outs. I am so old and white. I'm too male. I'm too stale, and I'm too pale, or whatever.
Correct.
Yes. All the above.
Do you have common sense? You do? Oh, good. Well, you should probably watch this video here then.